So this probably was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. But Jesus told his disciples, go out and be truthful.
Master P just went on camera and said what no one in the family was supposed to say out loud. And now his own brother, locked up at Angola for over 24 years, is paying the price for it. The plug has been pulled, the ATM is dry, and the confrontation playing out in public is darker than anything C. Murder ever rapped about. Here's everything they don't want you to know. The confession that broke the internet. Master P did not need to say what he said, but he said it anyway. And once it hit the internet, there was no taking it back. In March 2026, Percy Miller, the man who built No Limit Records into a 100 million record empire, sat down and revealed on camera that his brother Corey "Say Murder" Miller had a way out of prison years ago. Not a rumor, not a leak. The man himself said it. Master P revealed in a March 2026 interview that C. Murder was offered an 8-year plea deal after already serving about 4 years, which would have put him on the street before Obama was even president.
At one time, my brother was gonna get 8 years. He had already did 4.
Let that land for a second. For years in, the deal was on the table. 8 years total. Take it, sign it, walk. C. Murder said no.
But sometimes you gotta listen to the people that love you.
Right.
You know, instead of listening to the jailhouse people.
And that right there, jailhouse people, is where Master planted his flag. He wasn't just talking about a missed legal opportunity. He was pointing fingers at who? Women, friends, outside voices. People who, in his words, come and go.
People come and go, women come and go out your life, all this stuff, man. When that time go, you're gonna find out who real or not.
This clip went viral on X within hours. The comment sections exploded. Some people praised him for being real. Others called it something else entirely. Because here's the thing. Telling the world your innocent brother turned down a plea deal doesn't just sound like advice. It sounds like a confession. Not Master P's confession, his brother's. Whack 100 reacted to the clip and didn't hold back. His take was simple: 8 years or life. No sympathy. He gambled and lost, and then the streets started asking the real question. Why would an innocent man turn down 8 years? Because when you dig into that plea deal, the story gets a lot more complicated. The speculation on social media was immediate. The deal required C. Murder to cooperate with authorities to name the real shooter to snitch, and C. Murder refused. So when Master P got on camera and said if he took the deal early, we wouldn't be dealing with this. What he was really saying, whether he meant to or not, was that his brother chose the code over his freedom. And now Master P was on camera calling that choice a mistake. That is what dry snitching looks like in real life. Now, to understand why this moment hit different, you have to understand where these two men came from and what was at stake before any of this ever got in front of a camera. Corey Miller was born March 9th, 1971. Percy Miller was born April 29th, 1967. Both grew up in the Colopy Project's 3rd Ward, New Orleans. High crime, deep poverty, the kind of neighborhood that either breaks you or makes you obsessed with getting out. Their older brother, Kevin, was murdered in 1990 during a carjacking. He was 24. Master P got out through business. He used $10,000 from his grandfather's malpractice settlement to open No Limit Records in Richmond, California in 1990. He sold records out of his car trunk, built the whole thing from nothing. By the late 1990s, No Limit had sold over 100 million records worldwide. He brought his brothers with him. Say Murder came up as part of TRU, the Real Untouchables, alongside Master P and their brother Vishan Silk the Shocker Miller. Say Murder's solo album, Life or Death, went platinum in 1998. Bossellini came right after gold certified 175,000 first-week sales. He was on his way. Then January 12th, 2002 happened. At the Platinum Club in Harvey, Louisiana, during a brawl involving over 100 people, a 16-year-old fan named Steve Thomas was shot in the chest and killed. 2 witnesses, Darnell Jordan and Kenneth Jordan, identified C. Murder as the shooter. He was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. C. Murder maintained his innocence from day one. No gun was recovered. No gunshot residue was found on his hands. The witnesses' descriptions before they pointed at him described someone else entirely, a light-skinned black male with braids. Say Murder does not fit that description. His first trial in 2003 ended in a conviction, but it was overturned in 2006 because prosecutors had withheld information about the witnesses that could have blown up their credibility. Then came the retrial in 2009. Another conviction, another 102 non-unanimous jury, life without parole. Angola done. That is when the 8-year plea deal would have been on the table. Right around 2006, post overturned plea, retrial. The lawyers on both sides were negotiating, and the deal was there. C. Murder said no.
Even though my brother innocent, think about it. But you prolonged this so long.
That's Master P again in March 2026 saying, even though my brother innocent, and then following it immediately with, but you prolonged this so long. In the same breath, he's saying, I believe you didn't do it. And I also think you made the wrong call. That is the contradiction at the center of this whole story. And it only gets messier from here.
And so I just think if he'd have took the deal early, we wouldn't be dealing.
By the time this clip was circulating on X and Instagram and Facebook, reaction posts were stacking up across platforms. One comment that kept getting shared, the deal was to tell on someone, and he ain't go for that. Another said, same with my brother. He listened to them people in lawyer and blew on an 11-year deal. Street law and courtroom law were crashing into each other at full speed. And Master P, the man who built an empire on loyalty and family, was now the man who put the crash on blast for the whole internet to watch. But to understand why Master P snapped, why he got to the point where he pulled the plug on the ATM and went on camera, you have to go back even further and look at the years of drama, the ungrateful accusations, the Monica situation, and the moment in 2020 when things first started to fall apart between these two brothers in public. The ATM gets unplugged. Before March 2026, before the plea deal clip, before WAC 100's reaction, before all of it, there was August 2020. In 2020 is where you have to start if you want to understand why Master P eventually went on camera and said everything he said. In the summer of 2020, Kim Kardashian and Monica, C. Murder's ex-girlfriend, both stepped up publicly to advocate for his release. Kim Kardashian posted a tweet calling C. Murder an angel and demanding justice. Monica, who had stayed close to C. Murder throughout his incarceration, was visibly writing for him in a way that got attention. C. Murder from inside Angola responded to both of them publicly. He praised them. He was grateful. He was loud about it. Master P watched all of this and came out firing. I paid lawyers to help you with your appeal. I've been there for you going to court. You don't even tell the truth about your brother. That was Master P calling his own incarcerated brother ungrateful in front of the whole internet. He said he was pulling his financial support. He said he was done visiting, and he roped Monica into it, which turned out to be a mistake. Monica clapped back immediately. You cannot speak on me. And she was right. Master P had to come back and walk that part back, posting an apology. I have no beef with Monique. She got caught up into some family drama. No family is perfect. But the core of what he said, that C. Murder was ungrateful to his family, while praising outsiders that never got walked back. Because in Master P's mind, that was the truth. Now, fast forward to the video that made waves not long before the 2026 plea deal clip. Master P got on camera and made it plain.
So this probably was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. But Jesus told the disciples, go out and be truthful.
This is not a man venting in a comment section. This is a man who had decided deliberately that he was going to say the full thing on record for the world.
And whoever can appreciate that, just dust your feet off and keep it moving.
He was done protecting feelings. He was done keeping it in the family.
This is not about me. This is about the older people in my family that has no verse when it comes to what's going on right now.
He started by framing it as protection, protecting the elders, his mom, his dad, his aunties, and uncles. All the people who had been going through security screenings and paddones to visit C. Murder at Angola, only to get no acknowledgement, no gratitude.
And they shouldn't be talked about the way they have been.
C. Murder had put out books while incarcerated, written from inside the prison. And in those books, according to Master P, he said his parents, the people who created him, did nothing for him.
This is hurtful. I know my brother said that he put some books out and made bare minimum.
Then came the part that landed hardest.
In those books is what I disagree with. He talked about my mom, my dad, the people that created him. He said that they didn't do nothing for him, which is a lie.
Master P made it clear, everything the family did was out of love, not obligation. Whatever I've done for them. I've done it out of love. But the gratitude wasn't coming back. Then he got to Monica, and this time, he wasn't attacking her. He was doing something closer to the opposite.
I never heard him talk about her like that, but I know Kim Kardashian put out one tweet, and she is angel. which is crazy to me.
He acknowledged Kim Kardashian's advocacy, but he's still stung from how C. Murder's public praise for outsiders contrasted with the silence he gave his blood.
But I appreciate it. Like I said, my brother is innocent, and I hope she can get him out. I want him to come home.
Read that carefully.
He still said it.
He still said my brother is innocent. He still said he wants him home. That is not a man who has abandoned the cause. That is a man who is furious with the person, not the case.
I see where Monica is ride or die. He just started talking back to her 7 months ago. And I know maybe it's prison talk.
There it is. Prison talk. Master P knew the game. He'd seen it before. Someone gets locked up, reconnects with an old girlfriend, and suddenly the women on the outside get more loyalty than the family that's been grinding for years.
Monica just got divorced last year. So I'm thinking like, that's your ride or die. That's cool, if that's the way you feel.
He wasn't being cruel. He was being clear. He just wasn't going to pretend that the timeline didn't look the way it looked. And then he got to the family members who were banking on C. Murder coming home and getting a settlement. And he shut that whole fantasy down.
My sister, my aunties, uncles, everybody thinks that this man is coming on and he gonna get a settlement, he gonna take care of everybody.
He let that thought sit for half a second. Then he flipped it.
But the truth is, and I know the truth hurt, what did he do the first time he was home? Who did he help? Why do people owe him when his friends has him incarcerated?
That last line is the key. His friends has him incarcerated. Master P is saying straight up that the people C. Murder stayed loyal to, the people he chose the code for, those are the same people who put him in that cell.
It wasn't on the same page I was on, so God said, you gotta cut people off, you gotta do the right thing.
Master P said he made the same choice years ago. He left those friends behind. He changed his life, and because he did, he is free. And because C. Murder didn't, he isn't.
I'm not going through that no more for ungrateful people. So all y'all bloggers or whatever, y'all could understand one thing. The ATM, I'm pulling the plug off.
The ATM. That's what he called himself. And he was shutting it off.
Because people that's ungrateful and don't appreciate me, even my own family members, they'll forget.
This was not a heat of the moment rant. This was a decision, a thought-out, camera-ready public declaration that the Miller family ATM, the machine that had been running for years, paying for lawyers, funding appeals, covering visits, keeping people afloat, apologies, and the Vice internet connected this moment to the 2026 plea deal clip. The picture got darker because now you had Master P going on record saying C. Murder had a deal, turned it down, and the family suffered for it for 20+ years. That is not just frustration. That is, by some definitions, exactly what Terrence Gangster Williams had accused him of years earlier. Dry snitching. Dry snitching, apologies, and the victim's family. Before we get into the confrontation with Terrence Williams, we need to talk about the moment that gave Williams the ammunition to fire in the first place. Because Master P's public apology to Steve Thomas's family, the family of the 16-year-old who was shot and killed at the Platinum Club in 2002, is the move that changed everything. In 2023, Master publicly extended condolences to the Thomas family. He went to the victim's side. He said he was sorry for what happened. He expressed remorse on behalf of the Miller family. On the surface, that sounds like a decent human gesture, the kind of thing a person of faith does. And Master P framed it exactly that way, as a Christian act, a sign of respect for a grieving family. But in the streets, that gesture reads completely differently because C. Murder never stopped saying he was innocent. And if your brother is innocent, if he didn't pull the trigger, then what are you apologizing to the victim's family for? What exactly did your family do? That is the question. Terrence Gangster Williams, Birdman's half-brother, former New Orleans street figure, threw in Master P's face. Williams said in a 2023 interview, C. Murder is still saying he's innocent. And now Master P goes to the victim's family and says, I apologize. What you're saying is, yeah, my brother was guilty. My family was wrong for killing your family. Williams went further. He accused Master P of turning his back on C. Murder financially, of abandoning him, and then after abandoning him going to the victim's family and essentially co-signing the prosecution's version of events. That accusation hit hard partly because of history. No Limit and Cash Money were rival empires in the Southern rap world. Williams comes from the Cash Money world. Birdman is his brother. So, there is a long-standing tension between his camp and Master P that colors everything he says. But that doesn't make the argument wrong. It just means you have to weigh the source. George Thomas, Steve Thomas's brother, the victim's actual family, spoke about it on the Bloody Angola podcast in 2024. He said the family received unexpected apologies from the Miller side. He appreciated it, but the pain, he said, remained. He didn't politicize it the way Williams did. He just said, "My brother is gone and the pain does not go away." That is the part of the story that is easy to forget in all the drama. There is a real victim. There is a real family that lost a real person. And the legal battle, the family feuds, the dry snitching accusations, the social media circus. All of that exists alongside a mother who lost her 16-year-old son in a nightclub in 2002. C. Murder's legal team has argued consistently that the prosecution's case was built on sand. No gun was recovered. No gunshot residue was found. The two main witnesses, Darnell Jordan and Kenneth Jordan, recanted their testimonies in 2018, saying they were coerced by Jefferson Parish detectives and prosecutors who threatened them with charges if they didn't identify C. Murder. One of them, Kenneth Jordan, filed an affidavit saying directly, "I know that Corey Miller did not shoot Steve Thomas." C. Murder's first conviction in 2003 was overturned in 2006 because prosecutors withheld Brady material, evidence about the witnesses that should have been given to the defense. That alone tells you something about how this case was handled. The system found its own misconduct and still sent him back to trial. The 2009 retrial ended with another 10-2 conviction. Louisiana's non-unanimous jury rule, where a 10-2 vote was enough to convict, was ruled unconstitutional by the Supreme Court in 2020, but that ruling was not made retroactive for all existing cases. C. Murder's conviction stayed. In 2018, C. Murder went on a hunger strike to protest the ignored evidence. The club's camera footage, the recantations, a reported confession from another person. Master P supported the hunger strike. He organized the 2018 rally at Xavier University in New Orleans, where he stood on the steps and said in front of a crowd,
"It's time for him to come home, the innocent man." You know what I'm saying? They have no more witnesses.
Master P also noted at that same rally that both witnesses had already come forward to recant.
Both witnesses has already came and recanted their statements.
He spoke to the press. He met with the DA. He was grinding for his brother publicly, visibly, consistently.
Because it's keeping his spirits alive. You know, it's pretty neat to see all this support because, you know, I've met with the DA a couple times already.
And then he went back inside, and the process ground forward, and the appeals kept getting denied. In February 2026, the Louisiana Supreme Court denied C. Murder's latest appeal for post-conviction relief. The third denial since 2018. It was unanimous. C. Murder, in a phone call from inside Angola, reacted with 24 years of frustration in his voice. "I've been locked up 24 years for something I didn't do. Enough is enough." That denial is what set the stage for everything that came out of Master P's mouth in March 2026. The plea deal clip, the family rant, the pulled plug, the ATM going dark. And it is also why the Mac-Phipps comparison matters, because this is not just one bad case in Louisiana. It is a pattern. Mac-Phipps, McKinley Phipps Jr., was another no-limit rapper. In February 2000, a 19-year-old named Baron Victor Jr. was shot at Club Mercedes in Slidell, Louisiana, while Phipps was performing. No physical evidence linked Phipps. A witness was allegedly threatened into identifying him. Prosecutors used his rap lyrics, lines from songs with no connection to the shooting, to paint him as violent. He was convicted by a 10-2 non-unanimous jury. He served 21 years before being paroled in 2021. 2 no-limit rappers, 2 Louisiana club shootings, 2 non-unanimous jury convictions, 2 sets of witness problems, the same system, the same playbook. The connection between these cases is not coincidence. It is a jurisdiction. Jefferson Parish and its surrounding areas, with a documented history of prosecutorial misconduct, coercion, and the use of rap culture as a weapon against black defendants. Rap lyrics were entered into evidence to establish violent character. The name C. Murder was used against the man born Corey Miller. His own artistic persona became part of the case against him. And still, with all of that, when a deal was offered, C. Murder said no. Because the deal required cooperation, because cooperation meant naming someone, because naming someone meant breaking the code. That was built into the foundation of the world he came from. Whether that was right or wrong is a question people will argue about forever. But what it was not was something Master P should have announced to the internet. And yet the fall of the family empire, and what happens next. Here is what makes this whole situation almost impossible to untangle. Master P has never once stopped saying his brother is innocent. He has never reversed that position. He said it at the 2018 rally. He said it in the 2020 rant. He said it in the video where he pulled the ATM plug. He said it again in the March 2026 plea deal interview. And yet, every single thing he has done publicly since 2020 has chipped away at C. Murder's case in the court of public opinion, which is the only court that can save him at this point because the legal system has denied him 3 times since 2018. Let's trace the damage piece by piece.
You never made a record about them. You never wrote a book about them turning on you. I mean, how is that real? How is that true?
Master P is talking about the people who turned on C. Murder, the friends, the cut boys. He references the people who, according to Master P, are the real reason C. Murder is sitting in Angola right now.
They turned on you, bro. You could have been home with your family 18 years ago.
18 years ago. That is how long Master P believes his brother has been in prison unnecessarily because of the deal, because of the code, because of loyalty to people who, according to Master P, never gave that loyalty back.
This could have been done. If it's gonna happen, it's just not that easy.
Then came the Jimbo comparison. A story about someone Master P says served 22 years, came out bitter, and had to be told, "You're mad at people. But what have you done for them? Have you ever made them a card for their birthday? Have you ever sent a Christmas card?" The point being, gratitude flows both ways. And C. Murder, in Master P's telling, had stopped letting it flow at all.
So that's integrity. That's people that have humility. I'm focusing on giving back to underprivileged communities, helping the next generation with education, helping the elderly.
Master P was pivoting publicly, telling the world where his money was going now that the ATM was off, not to ungrateful family, to communities, to education, to the elderly.
That's what I'm doing with my resources. I'm not wasting it on no more on family members that's ungrateful.
And then the line that millionaires and billionaires say, "I'd rather give to charity than leave it for people who won't appreciate it." Master P wasn't quoting anyone. He was announcing a policy shift. The Miller family financial structure had just been restructured, live on camera.
I'm not leaving it for ungrateful family members. I never thought I'd feel that way, but it's the truth.
Now consider the downstream effect of all of this. C. Murder's case has always depended on public pressure. Every major development, the recantations, the hunger strikes, the appeals got attention because someone with a platform was pushing it. Kim Kardashian's single tweet in 2020 moved the needle. Master P's 2018 rally brought cameras to New Orleans. The advocacy machine around C. Murder has always been fueled by outside attention. But what happens when the loudest voice in the room, the one with the most credibility, the most history, the most access, starts telling stories about rejected plea deals and ungrateful brothers and ATMs getting unplugged? What does that do to the narrative? On social media, the reaction to the plea deal clip was split right down the middle. Some people said C. Murder was a man of principle who refused to cooperate with the corrupt system. Others said he was hard-headed, and this was the result. Some said Master P was brave for telling the truth. Others said he crossed a line that cannot be uncrossed. WAC 100's reaction was the loudest on the no-sympathy side. 8 years or life, he gambled and lost, brutal. But that is one read of the situation. The dry snitching read is darker because in that version of the story, Terrence Williams' version, Master P did not just vent about a family dispute. He handed the people who want C. Murder to stay in prison a gift. A clip of the man's own brother saying he could have been home if he cooperated. A clip that, regardless of intent, makes C. Murder look like someone who made a conscious choice to stay incarcerated rather than do what the system asked. That is the knife in the story, not the family drama, not the ATM, not the Monica situation. The knife is that every time Master P goes on camera and talks about what C. Murder should have done differently, he is building a case that makes it harder for anyone to argue that C. Murder is a victim of a broken system. Because victims don't turn down 8-year deals, people with something to hide do. That is what Master P's words, intentionally or not, put into the conversation. And once that conversation is in the public square, you cannot drag it back out. C. Murder had already lost his third appeal in February 2026. He reacted to the parole denial by phone from inside Angola. The frustration in his voice was 24 years deep. He has maintained his innocence every single time he has spoken. He has not changed that position.
This Corey deserves it. Justice needs to be served for the family of that victim, but an innocent man in jail for something he didn't do is no justice.
Master P said that in 2018 at the rally in front of cameras and supporters and his son Romeo.
Corbin told me, say, if somebody committed a crime, They should be incarcerated. I mean, he's a tough guy.
C. Murder himself, through his brother, said it directly. If you did it, you should be locked up. He was not asking for a pass. He was asking for justice.
None of us are perfect, but he told me, he said, big brother, you know I made a lot of mistakes. I named myself what I named myself.
He acknowledged his past. He acknowledged the name. And then,
I did this, I've been convicted for my music, but you know what? That can't stop an innocent man. And music is not a crime.
that was C. Murder's position in 2018. That is still his position in 2026. The name, the music, the persona, none of it means he pulled a trigger at the Platinum Club on January 12, 2002. But Master P, by going public with the plea deal story, handed the opposition a narrative that is much simpler than witness coercion and Brady violations and non-unanimous juries. The opposition's new narrative is his own brother thinks he made the wrong call. That is the confrontation at the center of this whole story. Not a physical confrontation, not a fist fight, a confrontation of loyalty versus truth, of family code versus street code, of what you say in private versus what you say to a camera. Master P built his entire brand on no limit on the idea that if you are in the circle holds. He brought his brothers up with him. He paid lawyers. He went to court. He met with the DA. He organized rallies. He spent years fighting. And then across a series of public moments that now stretch from 2020 to 2026, he said what nobody on the inside was supposed to say. That C. Murder had a deal. That C. Murder could have been home. That C. Murder made a choice that cost him everything. Whether that was frustration talking or faith talking or just a man who got tired of carrying the weight. The words are out there now. They're on X. They're on Instagram. They're on Facebook. They're in reaction videos. They are part of the record now. And C. Murder. Corey Miller, born March 9, 1971 in the Colopy projects of New Orleans, is still sitting at Angola, still saying he didn't do it, still waiting for someone in the legal system to agree with him.
When the publicity open, nobody's gonna help you and nobody's gonna be there for you but your family, us, the ones that love you. So bro, wake up. If you get a second chance, man, be thankful.
That was Master P ending his message the same way he started it. With love, with frustration, with faith. The question is whether C. Murder and anyone still fighting for him on the outside can make something out of what's left.